In this video, we're going to take a look at some date functions. We're going to look at some functions for taking a date serial number and extracting the components. So we need a date here. So let's just type in today's date, 7/18/17, and it makes the date year into a 4-digit number. And this is represented. Go up here and take a look. It's a date serial number. It's the number of days that have elapsed since day 1, which is January 1st, 1900. Let's go back and reformat that as a short date. Okay, so that is all of the date information is basically just stored as a serial number in here, and that's what you get if you look at it as a number. There may be times, however, though, when you want to take a date serial number and extract the parts, extract the 7 or the 18 or the 2017. And that's what we're going to do over here. If I want to pull out the month, there is a function called month. And in parentheses, you see the prompt here is for a serial number. And I kind of wish they said date serial number, but they don't. They just, so when you see serial number referred to in Excel documentation, they're talking about a date. So in order for the month function to work, we have to provide it with a date serial number. Well, here's our date serial number over here in A1, and then let's close the parentheses. Whoops, I did 2 of them. And hit enter, and the month is 7. Okay? And there's a similar one for the day, equals day, and we'll type in A1 and close the parentheses and hit enter. And the day is 18, and there's a similar one for the year. We'll do equals year, A1, and close the parentheses and hit enter, and you get 2017. So if you ever need to pull the components out of a date, use the month or the day or the year function to do that. There's another function that is similar to these that will tell you what day of the week it was. So let's do equals weekday is the name of the function, and weekday. And in parentheses, it wants a serial number. And so there's our serial number. And then there's an option for a return type. Let's click on the little FX here and get our help to come up and see what's going on. First of all, you notice that return type is not bold, which means it's optional. And if you don't put anything in, it will use a reasonable default. Okay? So let's click in the box here and see what it says about the documentation. First of all, it's a number. Sunday equals 1 through Saturday equals 7. Put the number 1 in there if that's how you want, if you want to start counting with 1 on Sunday. If you want to start counting on Monday, put a 2 in there. And if you want to put start counting with 0 on Monday, then you put a 3 in there. And the default is this, and that's the one I think most people would probably want, starting on Sunday and ending on Saturday, and that's the way our calendars are displayed. So it's optional, so we don't need to put anything in. So we're just going to click on OK, and it tells us that the weekday for this is day number 3, and we started on Sunday, so today must be a Tuesday, and today is a Tuesday. Now, you might prefer to have the actual day of the week, you know, the name of the day. One way you can do that is you can find someplace else on your worksheet and just create yourself a little lookup table here with the 7 days of the week. And over here, you just put a 1 and a 2, and then we'll get our fill handle, and we've got a little lookup table now. You look up the number here, and you return the day over here. So let's do a little lookup on that table, equals VLOOKUP. And it wants to know what I'm looking up. Well, I'm looking up the 3. And it wants to know where the table array is. And the table array is over here. And I'm not copying this, but it's probably not a bad idea to get used to making that an absolute cell reference because tables never move. And then it wants to know what column to look in to find the name of the day, and that'd be column 2 in this table, and then close parentheses. And we can convert a day into a day number into the name of the day. And the last function I want to take a look at in this video is the date function. We've got a month function There's a month function up here. We've got a day function. We've got a year function. We've got a weekday function. And sometimes you want to go back. You may get some data where you have the date split up into 3 columns. One column for the month, one for the day, and one for the year. And what you would like to do is you'd like to go back and put them all into a single cell value, basically convert the month and the day and the year into a date serial number so that you can do some date arithmetic more easily. It's hard to do date arithmetic with the numbers split up like this, but it's easy to do date arithmetic if you can convert them back into a date serial number. And the function for that is called date. So let's type in date and then left parenthesis. And notice the order here. In the United States, we're used to typing dates as month, day, year. And the order of the arguments here is from the big unit of time down to the small unit of time. So that's how you can remember that. But if you just pay attention to the little clues that come up here, you shouldn't have any trouble. So the year is here, and then we need a comma. And then the month is here, and then we need a comma, and then the day is here in C2, and then we close parentheses. And it should come back and give us the exact same date that we've got over here in A1, because that's where we pulled these numbers out of. If I change this to 1/1/2000, then all this stuff depends on A1, so all of the rest of this stuff changes as well. And those are some basic date functions. If you want to look at the rest of the date functions, there are a number of other date functions. And if you go up here and click on the date book, and you see there's quite a few other ones. Some of them have to do with times, and we'll talk about those in another video. And then there's some other ones that are probably not as useful as the ones that we looked at here today. If you're interested, just go check those out. But chances are the ones you'll need most often are the ones that we looked at here today.